I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. They say the minimum wage is causing maximum pain to those struggling to make ends meet in places like Newburgh.
Hey, ho, ho, minimum wage is way too low.
And today in the city, members of the Mid-Hudson Valley 99%, made up of representatives of several groups, including the Working Families Organization, Citizens Action of New York, and Community Voices Heard, rallied to call on Congresswoman Nan Hayworth and other national political leaders to get behind the effort to raise the federal minimum wage from $7.25 an hour to $9.80 an hour. Those on hand included Willie Reed Jr., a Poughkeepsie man and father of 4, who was forced to put his wife and kids on social services because he couldn't earn enough in his minimum wage job.
The economy today is so high. Everything is going up except for the wages. How can we afford what's going up and the wages are so low?
It is important because it would allow low-wage earners to put food on the table, pay their bills, and at the same time generate revenues for our local economy.
An effort to hike the state's minimum wage level to $8.50 an hour failed this spring in the state Senate. Those at today's rally say more than 15,000 Orange County workers would benefit from a minimum wage increase. Opponents of an increase say studies show raising the minimum wage does not result in any changes to poverty rates. A 32-year-old Middletown woman was seriously injured this morning when her pit bull dog attacked her. The victim, who police did not identify, was putting her brindle pit bull terrier into an outdoor enclosure when the dog attacked, biting her several times in the arm, wrist, and lower part of the body. Bystanders tried to free the woman but were unable to do so. A responding Middletown police officer was finally able to draw the dog away, and when it went for the officer, he fired 4 shots, killing the dog. The woman was airlifted to Westchester Medical Center, where she was listed in stable condition. They are out of options. Those who've been fighting the planned closing of the Town of Newburgh post office, they've seen their efforts fail, with the contract post office branch now set to close at the end of the month next week. The post office at Algonquin Plaza is closing because the Postal Service and contract holder Bob Solis could not reach agreement on the terms of a new contract. Postal officials had reportedly wanted to get a percentage based on the business done at the Route 52 site. Newburgh Town Clerk Andrew Zaretsky says the closing leaves the town without a Postal Service branch, while much smaller communities have more than one. State police say he went on a spending spree at the Monroe Walmart with forged and fraudulent credit cards. Investigators caught up with 23-year-old Keyshawn Haynes after he'd used a pair of phony credit cards to ring up sales at the store. The store's loss prevention department got a wind of the bad cards and notified police. Haynes of Long Island City faces the felonies of grand larceny and criminal possession of a forged instrument. Parents of students attending Chase Elementary School in Wurtsboro can breathe easier. Monticello School's Superintendent Dan Toplesky says despite overcrowding issues in the school, there are no fire code violations and no plans in the upcoming school year to move any Chase students to 2 elementary school buildings in Monticello. Instead, the Monticello School Board formed a committee to study current space issues and to report out any possible changes early next year. Some of those attending Chase School had previously attended Duggan School, which closed in 2010. Their mission to help develop a strong alcohol and drug-free culture for the youth in the city of Middletown. And Saturday, members of the Middletown Cares Coalition took another step in that direction by sponsoring a summer music fest at the city's Fancher Davidge Park. Bands including The Dedication and Ammo Without a Gun performed while kids got the chance to take part in fun events that included testing their skills on a rock climbing wall. Coalition officials say it's all part of their push to promote healthy alternatives and get local teens involved in positive activities.
You can have fun and you don't have to give in to peer pressure and to things that aren't comfortable. You just have to look for what can give you that venue. And these are the types of events. This, the Night Out Against Crime, other events like that, El Dia de los Niños. There's places that you can go with your friends and your family and just have a good time.
The Middletown Cares Coalition sponsors a number of alcohol and drug-free events throughout the year, and they've developed a series of community prevention education programs. And music helped celebrate the message of diversity earlier today at Crispell Middle School. Kofi and members of his African drum and dance workshop were featured performers during today's diversity fair, put together by members of the Pine Bush High School Summer Literacy and Education Academy. Kids from the town of Crawford Day Camp came to the school to enjoy the fair's games and activities, all with a message about the importance of diversity and tolerance towards the differences we see in all of us. Academy instructors say the fair becomes a learning experience for all of those who take part.
I think it's fantastic that we're so open about it now, about differences. These students that have taken our academy intend to pursue a career in education, and the classroom, when they teach, is going to look very different than the classroom that was the classroom when I was a student. There'll be multiple cultures, religions, ethnicities, backgrounds, different family lifestyles. They'll have to be aware of all those issues when they try to teach an English or a grammar lesson.
Ultimately, we want kids to really walk away today with an appreciation of what makes us a better society. So the fact that differences are actually making us stronger as opposed to breaking us down and making us weaker.
Students in the Literacy and Education Academy can earn college credits through an agreement with SUNY New Paltz. It's just one of several summer academies currently offered in the hugely successful month-long Pine Bush summer program. It began years ago with 17 students and has grown to an enrollment of more than 300. We may get a bit of a break in the humidity, but it won't last long. Wednesday will be mostly sunny and less humid, with temperatures rising into the mid-80s. But humidity will be on the increase Thursday, with temperatures in the 85 to 90 degree range, under a mostly sunny sky. Wherever news breaks, you will find it right here at Record Online, and read all the stories important to you in tomorrow's edition of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.